and good evening. I am Barbara Robinson, your host for Total Reset the Show. Thank you for joining us again this evening. As always, I have a fabulous guest this evening. Her name is Nissi Singh. Nissi, do you sing?
I do not sing, but I can recite poetry.
Okay. So Nissi is coming to us here. She lives here in Atlanta, but she's all the way from the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois.
Yay, Chi-Town. Yes.
Chi-Town. So how long have you been in Atlanta?
I've been in Atlanta going on 10 years now.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're in Georgia Peach now.
You might as well kind of sort of, but I got to rep Chicago always, right? No place like home.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm a woman of many colors, as they say. I've been in education for over 20 years now, and I am a publisher. I started a publishing company recently. So if, you want to get your book out there, you don't know what to do, I can help. I am also an author myself, a poet, and I'm in finance as well. So helping educate our communities about the importance of life insurance and investment.
Okay. So you have a plethora of things that you're doing.
Yes.
Great. So you said you've been in education for 20 years.
Yes.
What grades do you teach?
So currently middle school and high school at a private school here in DeKalb County.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And you've been doing that for 20 years, and so I guess you enjoy being in it for that long.
Yeah, it has been. It's been amazing. I have had the opportunity to teach everything from preschool all the way to the college level.
Okay.
I started off as a part-time adjunct professor, so that was really cool. It's been an amazing experience.
That's great. So, and then you slid into your own publishing company and writing your books.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that later. But you're also doing financial education and investing.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
All right. Well, I am a life insurance agent, and the main goal is to help people come out of poverty. For so many years, there are cultures of people who don't know what to do. They don't have at least $1,000 in an emergency account. And so what can you do if you have an emergency and you don't have the funds? And so I'm just really eager to help and educate people on how to get that going, how to turn their life around with a 7-year plan to really turn things around and get them pointed in the right direction.
That is so true, because we often don't think about emergencies that do happen.
Every day for some of us.
And we're not really ready for that. So that's great that you are stepping into that arena and teaching others about how to be more financial savvy and do some planning to make sure you have those areas covered. And life insurance is so important.
Oh my goodness, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
So, and what company are you with?
Primerica.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been with them?
I just started, toward the end of the year last year.
Okay.
I just started. Okay. And so what's really cool for me is I am personally coming out of poverty.
Okay.
So I understand the dynamics, and so that's why I'm so excited. Like, oh my God, I wish I would have known this 20 years ago. I'd be a millionaire by now, literally. But no time like the present.
Right.
So I will be able to help because I'm going to understand. I do understand.
There's always that time for education and for learning and to grow, your knowledge financially and to help others. So that's a great thing. What do you like most about the financial arena and teaching others?
It's basically coming out of poverty, learning a new way of life, learning that it's not about being broke. It's not that you're broke, but you got to change your habits.
Right.
You got to get the education. We perish for a lack of knowledge.
Right.
So it's the knowledge that you gain, and with that comes the power to have a better life.
So with what you just said, it's also a mindset change.
Definitely.
Yeah, we always talk about dieting or getting our health together, which is the lifestyle change.
Yes.
So the financial thing is also a lifestyle and a mindset change.
It is.
So do you find it difficult to change? The mindset of people you talk to?
You know what? No. The people that I talk to, it depends. There are many challenges because it's a mindset. So many people in our community, because they don't know, there's that fear of something new, that fear of oh, you may be trying to scam me, or I really don't understand that. So, or just not knowing and not, getting right to it, making it a sense of urgency because they don't know.
Right.
So it's like I'll get with you. Oh, I'll get with you. Okay. Yeah, let's meet tomorrow. Or tomorrow. Oh, well, you know what? I'm out right now. So it's that there's no urgency because they don't understand that, hey, what the information that I'm giving you will literally change your life. Right. And you'll be in a different position.
Yeah. That's people's mindset with we do everything else.
Yes.
Before we create that emergency fund, or we put aside the funds for a rainy day, or either car repairs or whatever may come up. Yes. And so then we're like, golly, what am I going to do now? So, but that's a great mindset to have. And when you do that, it's a sense of relief and it's less stress.
Oh my goodness. Yes, it is. It is. It feels so good. I'm in a better financial place than I've ever been my entire life.
That's great.
And the peace that comes with that. Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
It is amazing.
Absolutely.
And so it's just like you just. That's what makes me eager to, like, man, if you could just grasp this, you know, if you could just get started today. And it's taking that mindset of, we say, oh, I can't afford to do that. I can't. Well, really, you can't afford not to.
Right.
You can't afford not to get started on preparing a better financial future for yourself.
And that's almost like you can't not have a will.
Yes.
You can't not, have your things in order if something were to happen to you.
That's correct.
But sometimes that becomes a last minute thing that we do. So I see you are so eager about the financial piece. I'm so excited.
I am.
So what was your story in becoming financial savvy, or the struggles that you had prior to?
So I came here thinking like, oh my God, with my education, with my experience, I'm gonna come to Georgia. I'm gonna get a fantastic job, and it's gonna be great.
Right.
And that did not happen.
Right.
Oh my goodness, I came here and I'm gonna say hit rock bottom. Rock bottom for me, and I, been without, not necessarily homeless where I had no shelter, but homeless in the sense of, I've had to stay in a hotel, or stay with someone, with my children. So I just wish I would have had this information.
Right.
And I sort of did. I just didn't understand it because when I left and came to Georgia, I left a full-time job with benefits, and I walked away. Still, it was the best thing I ever did because I came here, hit rock bottom, and I've been self-employed pretty much since I've been here.
Okay.
So for the last year and a half or so, I've been 100% self-employed.
Okay.
So that is harder.
Absolutely.
But when you have faith, it's not so hard.
Yeah.
So my faith is what carries me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that it just changed everything. It's what has helped me. And so I did this one thing, and I got from my beautiful mom, God bless her. She said, did you eat today? Yes. Do you have some place to sleep tonight? So when you go to bed at night, ask yourself, did God provide all of my needs for today and only for today? Right. And I said, wow. She said, and I said, but tomorrow, but I gotta know what no, today. I said, yes, today. We ate, yes. Yeah. Yes, we got someplace today. And I took that on, and every night, no matter how hard it was, even if we were in a hotel and I went out and drove Uber and Lyft and got enough funds to pay for that night. Right. I went to bed and said, tonight, all of our needs were met. And I went day by day like that. And amazing. Now, all of my children are grown.
It's amazing because God is definitely a provider.
He is a provider.
And we stress ourselves out wondering,
yes,
oh, what's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen next week?
And don't
He's
even
providing every day,
yes.
every day. So and we just got to walk in that faith and have a sense of peace in everything that's going on around us.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
Perfect peace. He said, I'll give you perfect peace.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what is next for your financial journey?
So now, taking that one day at a time, I realized that I wanted to really just make it happen and just, and things don't just necessarily work that way.
Right.
It's not some get rich quick deal, which we don't want that anyway, because if it comes that fast, it'll go that fast.
Absolutely.
That's what I, so I've learned that now take it one day at a time. And anytime I have an opportunity, I speak to people. And I realize now I'm just planting seeds and watering seeds and planting seeds and watering seeds. And that's my only job is to plant and water. God gives the increase.
Right.
And so when that increase comes, I'll be in place. And the people whose seeds have been planted and watered along the way, they'll be in place.
Right.
And what needs to happen will happen. I'm confident in that.
That's great. That's a great mindset to have. So, it's just that your faith walk is definitely the most important thing.
Absolutely.
And we can stress ourselves every day of our lives, and it's not going to change anything.
Not one thing. Not one thing.
But just cause aches and pains in our bodies.
That's it. That's it. And that'll come on its own.
Exactly.
So, you don't need to help that.
That will definitely come on its own. But I'm so glad that you are taking that journey into the financial arena and helping people understand, what's available to them and how helpful it can be.
Yes.
Because, like you said earlier, people perish for lack of knowledge, and that's a knowledge that we haven't always been privy to.
That's it. That's it right there.
Yeah.
We haven't been.
Yeah.
And the truth is, if we had known or had the information, we would have used the information.
Absolutely.
The issue is we didn't know. And so now I'm saying to people, hey, I know, so now I can share this information with you.
Right.
And then now you got to do something with it.
Right.
I can tell you, hey, I can help get your book published. But if you don't do your part, it doesn't happen.
You're not going to publish it, write it and publish it, huh?
I mean, I can. I can ghostwrite.
Okay.
But we got to have some meetings to make that happen. You've got to be available and in place. And so it's really being in place. Being where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be.
You're supposed to be there.
Yes.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Atlanta Chapter Blinded Veterans Association. Our experience, knowledge, training, and service has prepared us to lead. Please join us as we improve our community, state, and nation. We're passionate about serving others and not being served. One vision, one team, one fight. Blinded Veterans Helping. For more information, contact Loretta Phillips, President, at 404-771-6724. That's 404-771-6724.
Nissi Singh LLC, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So she's written these sizzling books, Sweet Temptation, She Sizzles, and Sweet Temptation, He Sizzles. So let's dig into that. She's a poet, so it's not just a read, it's poetry.
Yes.
So tell us about how this came about.
Oh my goodness. So many years ago, this book, Sweet Temptations, She Sizzles, it's a love story in poetry.
Okay.
The characters, she and he, it's really about, and what makes it a sweet temptation is about being tempted And so you get the sizzling, having all these emotions and these feelings and desires that are real.
Right.
And the truth is, they're real for at least 99% of the human beings, correct? So that are real, but you don't have to be overtaken in that temptation. You don't have to fall to it. So it's really about this couple who, instead of falling to the temptation from all these passionate desires, waited and married first.
Right.
And so that's what makes it a sweet temptation.
Okay.
Yes. But it is sizzling. So it's like, I've had people say, woo. One of my daughters called and said, oh my God, I can't believe you wrote that. So it's good. It's clean. It's good, but it is sizzling. Because it needs to be real.
Right.
It doesn't need to be some facade.
Right.
It needs to be something that people could feel and understand.
Definitely.
And so it's really great for young people, especially young women, to say, hey, you can wait for marriage. You're worth it.
Right.
Definitely. And it's okay that you have these emotions and feelings. These feelings are real.
Right.
And you're not the only person with them.
Right. And knowing how to harness those.
Yeah, and so that's the purpose. Is it's out there. You can enjoy it. You can feel it, and then say, you know what? I can also wait. I'm worth the wait.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely. So, you want to read us a poem out of the book?
Oh my goodness, sure. All right, let's see. Let's see here.
Let's get sizzling.
Oh my goodness, there is. My mom has a favorite one. I was at a birthday party, and I was asked to read, and I read something. Everybody bought a book after I finished. So I want to go to that one. I'm trying to remember. Look, I'm gonna put on the spot here.
Okay.
We're trying to remember which one exactly that was.
So while she's looking for that, this is her book, Sweet Temptations, He Sizzles. It's a poetic journey, a fire that fiercely flames, a romance full of formed expressions. Wow, this sounds like the Book of Solomon. So, but yeah, as she's looking for the poem, Nissi's book is on Amazon. You can purchase it there. And then she'll give you more information about how you can follow her, where you can purchase a book, and all of that as we go through the show.
Okay, I'm just gonna wing it here. I'm gonna go with, this is called Peter Pan. And again, so it's actually on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Apple Books. Okay, and then you can also get them from me. And it's a conversation, so She Sizzles and He Sizzles is a conversation in poetry. So Peter Pan, there's a Peter Pan from He Sizzles, and then this is a response to that. Okay.
All right. Are we ready for that?
I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna keep it simple. Okay. So Peter Pan. So it's funny.
Okay.
You wished for my whole heart. You got it. I'm proud of the man in you that won't allow your lower half to overpower your upper half. And now I insist that your upper half listens to your heart. Either way, you're already my Peter Pan. You may not have known this, but from the very first time I laid eyes on you, you were breathtaking. And ever since that day, my mind has tried everything to try to erase you. But my heart keeps screaming, you should let him love you. So, won't you do take my hand and whisk me away? I would love to replace these tears of pain, and I will travel with you to Neverland, where there will never ever be you without me ever again. Come on, my sweet and strong Peter Pan, and bring me home to happily ever after, never hurt again land.
Wow. Okay, that was definitely from the Book of Solomon. Just not as graphic, but that was amazing.
Well, thank you.
It has an amazing message in there, and it shows the connection that a man and a woman can have but that takes some work and some communication and trust and all those other good things.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome. I love it. So when did this book come out?
So it was published in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, February 2021. So actually this month is the 2nd year anniversary.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and you have He Sizzles that's out now.
Yes.
Okay. When did that one come out?
February of 2022.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And the poetry is just a sizzling?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so again, it was literally a conversation between man and woman. So actual man wrote the he sizzle part, and I wrote the she sizzles part.
So, this is the he sizzles.
Yes.
Wow. So do you want to read one out here?
Sure. Look, you look like you wanted to.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you're the poet.
Okay. So let's see from He Sizzles. Let's see. Hope it's not too much. Okay, I'm gonna say, like, this is the page. This is the page she had it on. Okay. So this is How Do You Feel? Mm-hmm. All right. And this is again from the male, perspective. Yes. If I took it there, would you dare to stop me? And if you didn't, and my nature rose, would you bring it back down? Would you confide in me and trust that I would never hurt you? Would you? If I created room in my heart for you, would you rest there? Or would you journey through my mind with pillow talk? Would you let your inhibitions go and be free for the moment? Or would you hold back and continue to tease yourself? And why? Why would I only want a piece of you when if the opportunity was possible, I could give you my name and have the whole you? What would you do if the tables were turned? Tell me, how do you feel?
Wow. Okay. That was amazing. And I see how the two of them may go together with the conversation. So that's great.
Yeah, some of them have the same titles, and then some of the titles are different. But it was literally a conversation back and forth.
Wow.
Yeah, and all in poetry though.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what started you with poetry?
Oh my goodness. I credit
how long ago was that?
Yeah, I know, right? 15 years old. Actually my sophomore year in high school. I credit it to my 10th grade English teacher. Okay. And I cannot remember her name because I just realized this. It was an assignment to write poetry. And I fought her tooth and nail. Because at first she said, there's a contest in the school. Everybody's going to write a poem. I'm going to pick the best two. And I said, well, do we have to? Or she said, no. I said, okay, well, I'm not going to do it. She said, no, everybody has to. And I said, what? That's wrong. How you going to just force me, I was a mouthy teenager. Yeah. Somebody's watching and like, oh, yeah. But, yeah, so I really fought her on it. But she said, too bad, you're doing it. And so I went with it. I did it. No big deal, didn't think twice, wrote a poem, it was called Love, and turned it in. And in Chicago, we took what's called the CTA, which is the public transportation there. And so I'm on and we took the public transportation bus to school. Right. So I'm, on 79th Street CTA bus. And somebody's like, oh, Denise, I read that poem you wrote. It was good. And I'm like, what poem? Wow. Like, I don't write poetry. Right. What poem? And they're like, the poem is in the book. And I was like, okay, thank you. I'm like, okay. And people that whole day, people were getting on the bus. I read that poem. It was good. And I'm like, what poem is everybody talking about? I get to school, throughout the school, people are in the hallways. Wow. I read that poem. Oh, that poem you put it was book. I said, what book is this? I got to get this book. What book are y'all talking about? So I finally got my hands on the book because I didn't know what they were talking about. Okay. And I saw that it was the poem I wrote for my English class. Wow. And turned in. So she picked two, and I was one of them, and it was published in this book. Wow. It was called Flash Book. Okay. And lo and behold, the only time in my life that I had in school suspension for being tardy because I was, always in the hallways. I was in school suspension and that day, and I just wrote poetry the whole time.
Wow.
So it's like a lot of those moments where it looks like it's a bad thing,
right.
but God takes that
right.
and develops you
right.
in those tough
Absolutely.
moments. So I'm in school suspension again. It's the only time I ever had it, but that's where my poetry was really developed because
wow.
that's all. The words would just flow, and from that point on, I don't want to say I have this total control over it. Yeah, I can choose to do it or not, but I almost can't ignore it.
Right.
When the words start coming, it's like you're gonna write or you're not gonna get peace. So if I want peace, then I just get my pencil, pen,
exactly.
A napkin, paper towel, receipt, envelope. It doesn't matter.
Right. And that's what God does when He gives you thoughts. It's like, okay, write it down now or get it out of your head.
Yes.
And you're right. You don't have peace until you do so.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
Yeah. That's how the book came along. The very first poem written was Sweet Temptation. That was the name of the poem. And it was written, I had all these emotions, and they were just bottled up, and I didn't know what to do. And I was praying. I'm like, God, I didn't want to be in sin. I'm like, God, I don't understand this. And the poem just came out of me. The words just began to come. And then I wrote it down. And that's what I did with all of those feelings and emotions I had. I wrote about it. And I looked one day, and I said, this is a lot of poetry. This is a book.
This is a book.
This is a book. And so it's a
That's
book.
Great. That is great.
2 books.
That's amazing that all of that was inside of you at 15 and you didn't even realize it. Yeah. So thankful for the teacher.
Yes. Oh my God. I wish I could. I don't know if she's still alive. I wish I could go back and personally thank her. My goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That would be a blessing for sure.
Definitely.
So tell the audience how they can get in touch with you, how they can follow you on social media, and again, where they can purchase your books.
Awesome. So it's Nissi, Nissi, Singh, Sing, Nissi Singh, on all social media platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, again, Nissi space Sing on YouTube. And the book, you can also put that in Barnes & Noble website. You can put that in Apple Books. You can put that Nissi Singh on Amazon, and the book should come up. Also, that Nissi Singh, any books that have published through my company, they'll be in the mix of the list of books that will come up.
Okay, awesome. So how many other authors have you published through your company?
So far, 4.
Okay, great,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
So, wow, that's amazing. So, it's been such a great time talking with you, Nissi. Thank you so much for being in the studio with me and sharing your sizzling books. Wow. And it kind of makes me think about journaling. When you got all these thoughts jumbled around in your head, you journal to get it out, but you wrote poetry instead.
Yes, that's how it comes to me.
Yeah. So that's amazing to me that it came out as poetry. Have you done any of the poet shows, like stand-up poetry?
Open mic?
Open mic?
Yes.
That's what it's called.
I've had the opportunity to recite poetry at church, often at baby showers, birthday parties, block club parties, where it's like a street party and the streets are blocked off. You name it, banquets. One of my daughters and I had a duet that we did.
Oh, cool.
She danced to the poem.
Oh, wow.
And we performed at different shows for that. Like, I don't want to say it was a theater. Maybe it was a theater, but different events. So any event that I'm asked to recite at, if I'm available, I'm open and willing.
That's awesome. Yeah. That is awesome. Quick question: which poems do you choose to recite at church?
I have tons and tons and tons of inspirational. That just lifts up the name of Christ and lift up Jesus and my faith walk. And in anything I write, I notice not all of my poetry could be or would I actually perform it at church. But anything I write, it all points back to Jesus in some kind of way.
Right.
Even this book, it's because it's saying you can still have value. This is real, and that's what human beings undergo. You experience all of these, and unfortunately, often you get to church and people pretend that they don't have these feelings.
Right.
And so I refuse to do that because I can't help you if I pretend that I'm
Absolutely.
above the natural feelings that we
Absolutely.
all have.
Absolutely.
So it's my message really is none of us are above, and that's the
That's
truth.
true.
And so we need to be open about saying that. Because now I can say, because I'm filled with the Holy Ghost, I don't have to fall to
Right.
any temptation. I have now power to overcome
Right.
all of it.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, now that's a powerful word right there. And that our young people definitely need to hear.
Definitely.
So
yes.
thank you so much for being here. It has been amazing talking to you. I can't wait to read your poetry. Ladies and gentlemen, pick up Sweet Temptations. He sizzles and she sizzles. And, get that read in because you will be blessed from her poetry. So thank you again for joining us this week. We'll see you next week.
All right, bye.